You don't get a man right now. No, you auntie. I'm just gonna hold my mic because it's kind of short. I have things to say. That's why we have this video. So I'm doing a part 2 of dating strategies. If you haven't watched the first one, go ahead and watch that. Although they can be watched independently because both are valid. So the most crucial part of your dating strategy should be for you to discern, are you even available to date? And no, I'm not talking about your relationship status. There's so many other factors that determine whether you're available to date. Just because you're single does not mean you're available to date. And this may be the reason why you keep failing over and over again when you meet new people. So we're gonna go over some key pillars for you to take a look at to see if this is the reason why. First and foremost, let's talk about connection. Think about it. When was the last time you made a new best friend? Someone that you text all the time, someone you FaceTime, someone you hang out with on the couch with no makeup and just laugh and eat popcorn, somebody who you tell all your secrets to, somebody who you book Airbnbs and go on vacation with. Exactly. For me, it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I met someone organically who fit all that criteria. I think there's this like invisible secret sauce that is connection. Call it vibes, call it, all I got is vibes, whatever is synonymous to vibes. But it is so rare to find a connection like that. Energy and alignment. Those are good synonyms to vibes. What am I? 12. Even with Alex, I am shocked to this day that we are as close as we are because she's an extreme introvert, does not let new people in. Who knows the last time she made a new best friend? I think she told me it was me. And child, that was a long time ago. But that goes to show how rare connection really is. So what I'm getting at is, why is it different for romance? Connection and friendship is at the core of any romantic relationship, and that's what keeps things going long term. And that's what people in any successful relationship will tell you. I mean, if you're just looking for hookups, the bar is in hell. Just, they need to be alive because necrophilia is illegal. They need to be alive and just have the genitalia that you prefer that day. But this is not a hookup channel. So if you're looking for advice about that, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sure you can just Google it and find something. But this channel is about a healthy single season. It's about dating. It's about relationships. It's about marriage. All of that. But I digress. Connection. It's the foundation of any great relationship. So if it's so hard to find with just a platonic friend where the stakes are so low, you can only imagine how hard it is to find it in a romantic setting. Literally, imagine how hard it is to find with a stranger you're sitting across from at a cafe that you just met on a dating app. So the next time someone asks you why you're single, bring up this analogy. Flip it on them and ask them, when's the last time you made a lifelong best friend? You know, recently I thought I hacked my way into connection because the last 2 dates I went on were organic. They were not from the dating apps. One guy I met through mutual friends at a big dinner, and another guy I met on a job, and we connected on a really long, I think 12-hour day. So I was happy and relieved that the stranger element was removed, but it still didn't mean that there was connection. And I realized that when people do go the distance, it's for one of 2 reasons. The first one is,
oh my gosh, we have that rare connection. We love each other so much. We can talk for hours. We travel. We like the same things. We can also just sit on the couch and do nothing and still be in bliss.
Or they want the same things in life and they don't feel that connection, but they think it's good enough. And that second one, I'm not willing to do, because that second one is where relationships crumble and you ruin lives, and sometimes abuse is involved and cheating. The second one looks like,
we grown, we both want marriage, we both want kids, we both want to buy a house. Our parents keep hounding us on the holidays, asking us when we're going to do all these things and achieve these milestones. You're single. I'm single. Let's just get together. It is what it is.
And I beg of you, as your friend, as your sis, don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all gonna break up. Y'all gonna break up and it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be messy. You need connection. And now that I finished that rant, I should probably just volunteer the information where I almost did settle. And I'm gonna just tell you before you find out from someone else, because I don't want you to think I'm a hypocrite, you know. So there was this fine man, right? It always starts with a fine man. That's how they rope you in. You got to be physically attracted. Okay. That's a whole other video. But yeah, so I went out with this guy about 5 weeks total. 5 weeks is a good amount of time if you're both intentional and you communicate and you see each other a couple times a week and you make plans and da. But this guy, I wanted it to work so badly, but for the wrong reason, not for connection. And I eventually figured that out because he wasn't communicative. He didn't text me throughout the week. He pretty much, like clockwork, only texted me like Wednesday or Thursday just to confirm a date for the weekend. And it always ended up being like Sunday at 2 or 3 p.m. at his convenience in his neighborhood. Like, he just needed someone to split a meal with, really. It felt like a standing appointment with my manager or something. You know, there was no shared humor. There was no spark. There was none of that alignment and vibe. But I was just looking at his attributes on paper. I was like, okay, well, he's 41. That's good. It's age appropriate. He's a little older than me, but it's age appropriate. He has a good job. He lives in this high rise in downtown Brooklyn, so he must be paid really well. He's in shape. He plays soccer for fun. He pays for the dates. I have $30. I probably could have paid for my own stuff, but just out of principle, he paid for my food too. We should get married because he's single and I'm single and he lived down the street and that's it. That's it. There was no connection. So eventually, after week 5, I said to him, hey, we've been in communication for a bit now, and at this point, I just know myself. I know how emotional I am. At this point, I should feel more than I feel now, and I don't feel like there's any progression whatsoever. We're kind of just killing time. We didn't get deep. There's no vulnerability. So I think it's best we just go our separate ways. But it was really nice to meet you. And I wish you the best. And all he said was, okay, thank you for your honesty. And his like stoic, respectful response kind of gave me all the reassurance that I needed that I was making the right choice, because I was like, oh, I'm just wasting my own time. He's just chilling. Like, how long would that have gone on if I was just settling for a lack of connection? But what's crazy though, fast forward maybe almost a year, like to present day, guess who was in my DMs? Yeah, because I did the Pop the Balloon sketch on SNL with Dave Chappelle, and it went viral just because like Chappelle brought back his old characters like Silky and Ashley Larry was on too. So I was just very visible in the lineup of Pop the Balloon. And so I got texts from all these different people and DMs from different people. And he was one of them. He was like, hey, I'm not stalking you or anything. I just want to say I saw you in Pop the Balloon. And okay, like, what am I supposed to do with this information? Sir, if we had connection, we'd be engaged by now. But instead you was wasting my time. I deleted you from my memory, sir. But I did not ghost him. I'm grown. So I just double tapped, give it a little heart. Then I deleted the whole thread because we ain't got nothing to talk about no more, sir. Anyway, that story leads me to my next pillar, which is emotional availability, because I feel like a lot of the lack of connection with that guy was the fact that he was not emotionally available. And I know a lot of women like to blame men for this and say like, oh, he won't go deep and he's just really closed off and he needs to go to therapy, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of time, the girly pops are also to blame. And it looks like different things too. It's not just closed off or doesn't cry. It could be you're still caught up on your ex. It could be you're burnt out from work. It could be you're on a date sitting across from someone and you're literally thinking about your to-do list and your grocery list. Or when the person is talking to you, do you just hear Charlie Brown's Teacher?
Oh, good grief. Yes, ma'am?
Some of you guys are too young to understand that reference. But anyway, that's probably a sign that you're not emotionally present. You're physically there, but you're emotionally in outer space. And that is a sign that you are not ready to date. And you should probably take a step back. Wait until you have more mental space available. Bandwidth, if you will. Next, are you the best version of yourself? Hear me out. I'm not trying to comfort nobody, but a lot of times people on their little list, their little wish list of what they want in a partner, let's just say what they want in a partner, they don't have any trace of in themselves. You know, you want someone with money, you want someone who went to therapy, you want somebody who's fit, you want somebody who got friends, you want someone who's emotionally available, and you none of that. Girl, you none of that. If you're the best version of yourself, great, amazing sign, move forward, keep dating, see what's out there for you. But if you don't have any money, if you're in serious debt, if you are unhealthy, if you are on a PIP at work, and my corporate girlies, you know what a PIP is, you know you about to be unemployed. That's just something they do just to do with HR, but no, you about to be unemployed. I'm so sorry. If you have fundamental things about your life that can be worked on or improved, go ahead and do that and leave that person alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Because wouldn't you want to increase your odds of a happy, healthy relationship? You could do so by being amazing, and then the other person is amazing, and then you guys just go off into the sunset and it's just everybody amazing. You deserve someone who is the best version of themselves, right? So why wouldn't the other person deserve a fully formed person as well? Do you know what I mean? I'm just talking about reciprocity in lifestyle, in value, not in a monetary sense or like a physical attractive sense and like, you know, what they talk about on the internet sometimes, but just positivity. For example, me, I am still on my fitness journey. I'm not going to talk too much about it until maybe I reach another milestone, which I am working on. Stay tuned. But I feel so much better and healthier and disciplined, and there's a domino effect in my life when I'm working out every other day and getting 10K steps a day. It makes me hop out of bed, make my bed, brew my coffee, do my skincare routine. It just keeps me going like this well-oiled machine, and I love the domino effect. My endorphins are high, the dopamine is up, and I bring that energy into rooms I go in now. And that radiates and that attracts. And when I was so focused on finding a guy, I wasn't doing any of the positive stuff for myself. I was literally just kind of rotting on the couch, swiping through Hinge, and it was giving depressed, put it that way. But now, when I delete the dating apps and just go about my business, I feel so much better, and I'm just a happier, healthier version of myself. And I feel like this me, the me who's just not focused on dating, is a better catch. And it's a good headspace to be in. So go live your life, go be healthy, go be productive, be the best version of yourself. Think about it as making yourself an asset to someone, not a liability. When you're really lonely and you want someone and you find yourself saying, I want a man, ask yourself, or woman, sorry, or person, sorry again. When you find yourself saying, I'm going to say man for this example, I want a man. Well, is your room clean? I want a man. You know you need to declutter that closet. I want a man. Have you scheduled your doctor's appointments? I know you need a mammogram, sis. We getting older. I want a man. No, you don't get a man right now. No, you auntie. Your sister just had some kids. Go co-parent with your sister. No. Next, and this is directed to the people who maybe just got out of a relationship recently and want to date again. You gotta be careful. Have you reestablished your life outside of the person you were just with? Do you have your own hobbies? Do you have your own routine? Do you have your own set of friends? That part, because a lot of times when you're in a relationship, you have the same friend group, and then like you just got to fight over custody of the friends. So you might need to just go outside and make new friends and just, clear your head and all of that. All that to say, sometimes a mistake that we make when we just get out of something is rushing into something else. And it's not healthy because you're on autopilot still. Like when you're in a relationship, you kind of forget what it's like to be single. And when you're single, you kind of can't even fathom fitting someone into your life. You're like, how did I do that before? Where did the hours in the day come from? But obviously it works. It definitely works. But when you're in autopilot, just fresh out of a situation, sometimes you're not thinking clearly. Like you're not so much assessing the person on their attributes. A lot of times you're either consciously or subconsciously just trying to fill the void. You're just trying to take a warm body and put them in the space that is now vacant. And that's not fair to yourself or to that person who's earnestly trying to date you. So if you take a step back, you're able to look at things more objectively or subjectively. No, subjectively is specific, objectively is larger. Anyway, you're able to get to know someone in a healthy way when you take a break and you can actually integrate them organically. That's what I mean. Not my stomach rumbling. I is hungry. And the last pillar of determining if you're even ready to date is, are you being honest with yourself? I know people on the internet like to pretend they don't have feelings and they're just like, I don't even want to date anyone. Like, I'm good. Like, whatever. My life is amazing. Okay. I see a lot of the catch flights, not feelings. No, you are a human being. You have feelings. You have a lot of feelings, and that's normal. It's actually abnormal if you don't feel anything. Only a small population of the planet are sociopaths. I think the other ones, psychopaths? No, sociopaths don't feel anything. That's clinical. You have feelings, and you're allowed to want love, and you're allowed to want a relationship, and you're allowed to desire it. And you got to lean into those feelings. You got to be honest with yourself. But deciding to not focus on dating is actually smart, and it is being discerning. It's not you shutting off your feelings. It's you being discerning. It's you acknowledging where you are in your life and if you're ready or not. And that's commendable. Like if you're not ready to date and a compatible person enters your life and your spidey sense starts tingling, acknowledge that feeling. But you know what you can also do? Tell the truth. Hey, Kenneth, I really like you, but I have to tell you, I'm not emotionally available right now. I'm burnt out from work. My boss is a maniac. I'm still not really over my ex, Brian. I think about him every other day at minimum. I'm not in a place financially where I feel comfortable investing in anything outside of the basics. You know, Kenneth, I gained a lot of weight. I gained a lot of weight to a point where I don't even recognize myself, and my clothes aren't fitting, and I would just feel so much better if I were to just take a step back from getting close with anyone new until I feel myself again. You know, I'm gonna just work on my lifestyle and work on me, but I really do like you. And child, it's that type of transparency that we need back in these streets. Overall, you're going to be more loved and more respected when you are true to yourself and you're honest. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I have to go do an audition tape because your girl is trying to be booked and busy in 2025, okay? But thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram and on TikTok, and tune in for next week's episode. Let's talk about it. Goal changes. I feel like this hair is crazy for real. For real. Please don't roast me in the comments, y'all.